Hello. Security has been a big issue for the technology industry for as long as I can recall. Cutting a long story short, we used to think that securing the perimeter would keep the enterprise safe, but that idea was abandoned by forward-thinking security experts long ago. It just doesn't work in the modern world. Instead, wouldn't it be smarter if the network participated in the process? If that was where your data was sterilized, not infected? The MEF and Cloud Ethernet Forum certainly think so. And here's Dr. Hongweng Zhang to explain this new way of thinking about network security.
MEF recently announced the network as a service as a third network, which really is a long overdue objective for our industry. And today the connectivity is so universal, we expect a consistent service level no matter where we are, no matter what we use. And the issue that we face in terms of security perspective is this. And you can have connectivity, but as a business user, as a user who has a lot of privacy, all those things, it's very difficult to trust the network itself. So our view is this. Our view is that for the network as service to work, security is absolutely needed element for it to work. To that degree, and the security should really echo what the third network's mission is about. It has to be agility for provisioning, and has to be very assured so that no matter what application you are using, what network you are on, you are assured for your privacy and the security, all those concerns. And also because it goes through many different vendors, different systems, and those things, and it needs to be orchestrated. So those are really the key element we see in the next wave of innovations in networking, which is represented by MEF.
Now there are two other bodies involved in this initiative, the MEF and the Cloud Ethernet Forum, or CEF. What's their role?
Yeah, third network delivers three attributes. There will be agile, there will be assured, and there will be orchestrated. On the assured, we actually assure not only the performance, but also the security. So security as a service is really important, key piece of delivering the third network for everyone who actually going to be able to ask for on-demand services and guaranteed not only performance and security.
I think what the CEF is doing is it's looking at interfaces between the different players in the ecosystem. So where the MEF can define the end-to-end and the attributes of a service and how that's secured and so on, what we want to do is make sure that those attributes of that service are then also extended into things that might not be directly network related. So they might be related to the provision of a cloud service, they might be related to the movement of a particular set of data, or a whole variety of different activities that might take place in this, and giving really a visibility and a set of controls that the enterprise can use to look after their data in this hybrid environment that covers multiple players, not only those that are involved at network level.
Who benefits from all this, and what will those benefits be?
I think that anything that we can do to make sure that there are a consistent set of controls available to those organizations that need to control where their data is, which is largely everybody today as far as I can see, is a good thing. Making sure that it's easy to get very concentrated into things to do with security and securing data. I think we need to look more widely than that. It's also enforcing policy, and policy could be in relation to security activities, making sure who can see what kinds of data and that bad people can't take it and all of that sort of thing. But it's also the processes and procedures that organizations need to have in order to handle data, or to either to comply with their own internal requirements, audit requirements, regulatory obligations. There's a whole variety of things that people need these policy controls to be available to them. And at the moment, the policy controls that are available to them from different service providers vary. Once you start talking about applications, there's not really a consistent set of controls around there. And organizations then get left with very expensive system integration tasks to try and pull all of those together so that they can comply with what they need to comply with. So I see huge benefit by taking away that complexity. You can have a certain set of assumed common controls that are in place to allow an organization to manage its own policy environment. And then that gives a great platform for companies to then innovate in the services they provide once those controls and those basic standards are in place.
There's a number of benefits to the MEF security initiative. By setting standards around agility, assurance, and orchestration, the MEF will allow providers to interoperate and to deliver security services to their customers that are consistent and that can address some of the key challenges today for customers regardless of their security needs. No one can argue that customers today have a varying range of security challenges. Financial governments, defense, all the way down to small businesses have varying needs in their security. Some need more security than others. Initiatives like the MEF Security Initiative allow service providers to become that front end for security for their customers. It will allow their customers to choose what security they need, allow them to easily implement it without the complexity and without the staff that we've traditionally seen is necessary today.
The benefits of this dynamic access to and policy-driven security is that you will be able to access your data through a tablet device while you're traveling remotely and have a certain level of security that's maybe not as strong, only access to certain data that you need based on policy, whereas if you're using your corporate laptop in your corporate network environment, you're going to have a stronger level of security and you'll have access to more sensitive data. So by enabling this types of policy-driven dynamic content security model, you'll be able to build these policies for your customers and consumers that will give them access to data they need anywhere in a secure fashion, while allowing them to access more sensitive data in a more secure environment.
Of course, the big question is when we're going to see those benefits.
I think it's from the any technology development or deployment perspective, it's going to be if you look at the short time frame, it's going to be evolutionary, it's going to be progress. We already see elements of network as a service with a security element embedded into it. And I'm very glad this time I come to this conference and I hear a lot of industry leaders start using the term clean pipes. And basically it's a network that you can trust. This demand is already there. So with a gradual deployment of technology, especially with a software-defined networking, where we basically take the heavy cost of deploying security out of the equation, and especially with network function virtualization, where we can have agility to respond to the market response, and all those things we put together, I think that we are going to see some tangible rollout in the very near future. And as a matter of fact, we already work on different aspects of the specification on the security aspect.
So there we are. The network will help cleanse your data in the future. It makes a huge amount of sense. But isn't that how it should have been from the start?